Once you got comfortable and you're making waves of your own on the independent scene, what led you to the Cruiserweight Classic?
So that I think I went back to England, did another tour, and I got a random text message from Tommy Dreamer while I was in England, and he was like, "Hey, may I pass your number along to William Regal?" So I'm like, "Of course, yeah, absolutely." So he messaged me and asked if I was interested in doing a tryout for WWE. I think 2015 is when I came down to do a tryout, and my tryout featured myself, Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, Shane Thorne, Ember Moon, a lot of people that I know. The Cruiserweight Classic just kind of started to happen. It was called the Global Cruiserweight Series first. And yeah, I didn't have anything confirmed. My hopes were never up, but like I knew that like I was going to have like an opportunity match to kind of get into it against Tracy Williams. And then it worked out. And next thing I know, like my picture's like front and center on the CWC like advertisement, which was crazy to me because
Right.
like, like you got all these international talents, and you got like Philadelphia Drew Gulak right here, like in dead center. So like I don't know, like that kind of stuff was very surreal.
Do you have anything that stands out off the top of your head that you're particularly proud of from the 205 Live days?
I was proud of every moment that I got to spend in that ring or on screen with people. Right off the bat, connecting with like Tony Nese and Noam Dar and Ari Daivari and Jack Gallagher, and us kind of just like immediately being a group that would travel together and just kind of be like the backbone of the promotion at the time. And then getting a chance to kind of show off that personality, and it was just a whole crazy thing. 205 Live, man, has had like a crazy.
It's absolutely nuts, man. I
Yeah,
remember
when you think about it, right? Like all the
I
people who
started
pop.
the very first week, and just the amount of faces that have rolled through, and just the entire presentation of the show has changed, and it's absolutely nuts. But the one thing you can't deny is if you're looking for in-ring wrestling,
Yeah,
you'd be hard pressed to find it better anywhere
I think
as far
so.
as technique and
Yeah,
moves, etc.
yeah. Some of the best wrestlers in the world. I still think like, oh my God, everyone is so good there. Everyone is so good in the ring. Like, I feel like Akira Tozawa and Jack Gallagher are two of the best in the world, hands down in the company. Not that anyone else is below them. I just personally, I feel like those
Sure.
those guys are top.
Having said that, and you found your sort of milieu in the 205 Live, you semi recently find out you're being moved to the SmackDown roster.
Mhm.
Anything change in your mindset when you get that official word?
This is still like, okay, well, maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. And like for a while, it was mostly people just coming up at me and being like, hey, I heard this is going to happen. People were telling me I was going to Raw for the same time too. So like I really had no idea until it was announced online officially.
Believe
Um,
half of what you see and none of what you hear.
yeah, exactly. It's all hearsay. Just don't worry about it. Have fun.
Show
Just
up and work.
have fun. Yeah, it's kind of the same mentality for me, even being on SmackDown. I understand the opportunity is even greater. Kind of like my Cruiserweight Classic debut. Okay, now I got more people who can see what I do, so I got to kind of figure out a way to just let it happen. And it's been working out so far, I think.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We're talking
Thanks.
about growth on your, from your professional perspective. Um, Now you take another leap recently and you become involved in a program with Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Now, I touched on it briefly. Michael Cole and I did briefly at the pay-per-view in Philadelphia. Give me a little bit more meat to the story about why what we're seeing on television is so important. And it's not just something dreamed up for wrestling purposes.
Especially that day at Elimination Chamber, which was up the street from where I trained and from where like Daniel Bryan cut his teeth at the Murphy Rec Center, which was up the street from the Wells Fargo Center. We are two guys who, we're a few years apart. And he came in and he was the top independent star.
Right.
Like, and he stayed that way until he became the top
Yeah,
WWE star.
I think he was the top WWE or the top independent star when I broke into business. He just
Exactly.
kind of was the guy.
Right, right. But like I just never crossed paths with him, And like for me, I had to grind to get to where I was throughout my entire career. So I felt like I had so much to prove, and us just like skating by in our careers, like we never touched in the ring. He got to call my matches at the Cruiserweight Classic, which was kind of cool because like that was him getting a chance to kind of see that style, and like I think that kind of like that woke up something inside of him, to be like, man, I want to do more of that, and I think it did for a lot of people, and that's really what I want to do. That's like where my passion is. Like I want people to be like, I can do it too.
So I was texting with a friend of mine during WrestleMania. It was actually
Okay.
the WrestleMania kickoff show the first night, you and Cesaro.
Mhm.
And you guys were doing your thing. And what a weird environment it is to have the Performance Center as essentially a sterile environment, no fans to feed off of. Now, any of us that have spent time on the indies realize that sometimes you're lucky to wrestle in front of 15 or 20 people.
Yeah.
Now you're at this level. What was going through your mind? Did you have any nerves before this, being part of WrestleMania, but in this environment?
I think it was more like I was excited. I really I didn't have the nerves, the willies or anything like that. Like I was pumped, man. Like I'd never wrestled Cesaro in a singles match, and we were training together back in 2004 at the same school.
With Skyda. That's the name
Yeah.
that I always associate, because I remember running into Cesaro on the indies, and Skyda, I'd met him a handful of times, but that was the big
Yeah.
buzz in the Northeast Independence, was there was a luchador training in Philly.
Yeah.
WrestleMania, weird environment, no fans.
I was excited to get to do that. I knew what the situation was going into it, like everyone else. Unprecedented. It's a different kind of an opportunity, but we got to make the best out of it. And we still got to entertain people. And we're lucky that we get to do that. So lucky that we get to do that. And to be able to share that with Cesaro, who is, I don't know, the best wrestler in the world. Not only was it my first WrestleMania moment, man, I remember being in the stands last year. Me and Dean Malenko were backstage watching Buddy Murphy wrestle Tony Nese. And I was so happy for them, but I was like, man, I'd love to get to do this too. And I got that moment this year, and it's with someone who like I've known and loved for forever. It was really cool. I wasn't fazed by the fact that there's no audience. I actually enjoy parts of that because you have to focus on the details of what's going on in the ring, and that's like where I've always kind of thrived. That's like my wheelhouse. So like I'm more than happy to get in there and kind of be like, let's just do it, let's go. And it is what it is. And I hope that the fans kind of get a chance to see that kind of stuff, and I hope that I get continued opportunities to do that.
Like what you hear? Catch full episodes of After the Bell on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe now and never miss an episode.